What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to Trust Me, Bro.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Awesome, man. Good to see
Good.
you tonight.
Yeah, good to see you.
So, here it looks like you're live on location for this episode of Trust Me, Bro. Coming live from where?
From New Orleans, brother. I wish I was live on location. They played in Atlanta this week. Man, I would have caught a
Yeah.
game for sure if
Oh,
they
yeah.
played here.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be great
Yeah,
to see one at the Superdome.
yeah, yet to.
Very cool. Well,
Yeah,
nice view from your from the window at the hotel. You're looking good, brother.
yeah. I wish I could get a better view of Canal Street here, man. It's kind of nice up on the 33rd floor.
Yeah. Wow. Great.
Yeah,
Very nice, brother. I like it.
yeah.
All right. So let's get into the football. We just got done watching another doubleheader, Monday Night Football. I'm really not 100% sure that I like them that much. I find it kind of distracting, to be able to try to watch two games at once. I know that we do the same thing all day on Sunday watching the red zone, especially when the Cowboys are playing on a primetime night. And so we don't have a Cowboy afternoon game. But I think that the production quality at the red zone is they make it watchable, right? Because they're in tune with what's going on throughout the league, and can zoom over to the games at the right time. But when I'm trying to fumble between two myself, I just don't really like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's tough to watch, and man, that Dolphins game was made even worse to watch.
Oh
The
my
Dolphins
God, yeah,
Titans game.
terrible.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I think this is it. I don't think there's another doubleheader on Monday nights, so
Good.
I can appreciate that. So, I think this
Yeah,
next week is when we start with the London games. So we'll
that's
have a
right.
game on Sunday morning at like 9 a.m.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Sunday morning game. So get up and watch that before church. It's could be a
That's
good
right.
one. I think we got the Jets and the Vikings, I believe, are the Sunday morning game. So that should be good. Yeah, get
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson going, and I know you're who else? The Jets running back.
I don't
Anyway,
have Brees this year, man.
you don't have Brees Hall. Okay, all right,
Nope.
very good. Probably thanking yourself for not drafting Brees. So
Yeah, no kidding,
yeah,
man. No kidding. Maybe
yeah.
that Braylon Allen's really cutting into his carries too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, listen. I know you. I know you're down in in the dirty, and so always fun to go check out the city. So let's get into the waiver wire guys that we're looking at that caught our eye after week 4. I know we got the spreadsheet. Let me go on over to that spreadsheet, and
Yeah.
in the meantime, let's talk about some waiver wire winners. Hit me with a guy that you grabbed off the waiver wire that really impressed you this past week.
Yeah. I mean, one's Chubb Hubbard, and I grabbed him Sunday morning. I just wasn't feeling good about Waddle this week, and for good reason. He didn't do too bad, but Chubb Hubbard grabbed me 25
Mm-hmm.
points. So that was a nice little snag up the waiver wire and throw him in the lineup. I didn't necessarily need him to get the win there, but every point
Mm-hmm.
helps.
That's right.
Yeah. How about
All
yourself?
right. Well, I actually found two guys that were pretty successful on the waiver wire, and so one of them was the um, Pat Fryermuth, and so I was in a pickle because I had who's that McBride for
Mhm.
the Arizona Cardinals, right? And so he was out with I think a concussion, I believe it was. So he was out with a concussion, and I needed somebody to go, right? So I was looking around and trying to figure out, who would be my guy, right? And I was going, between Pat Fryermuth and Taysom Hill. And so when the game started, I was kind of kicking myself for not, having the balls to pick up Taysom Hill and pop him in, because he did run in 2 touchdowns, I think, in the first quarter. So I was like, man, I guess I really blew it there by getting Fryermuth. But he went off for he caught 5 grabs on 7 targets for 57 yards and a touchdown. And so
Nice.
he worked in for a pretty good replacement. Ended up actually outscoring Taysom Hill by a few points. And so it was to me a really a good pickup, I think, off the waiver wire, and I was
Yeah.
happy with it.
Nice snag,
And
brother. Good job.
yeah, good snag. And so I actually do kind of like his prospects moving forward with Justin uh, Fields. And so I think that he's actually somebody, if you've got, let's just say, I mean, I like him better than then Likely, Kermit, Pitts, and Mandrews. If I had any of those guys, I'd be dropping them and going with Fryermuth. So
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
and
All those have been a disappointment. Like Kermit's had a little flash. I mean, he had one game, but
mm-hmm.
we've just seen through his career he's not overly consistent.
Nope. And then other than that, I did score Craig on one of the kicker recommendations you had for me last week. I was in need of a kicker, someone that's producing, and so I ended up picking up Young Ho Koo, not an old ho, a young
Boy,
ho.
nice.
Yeah, and this young ho, he got me. He kicked four field goals, two of them for over 50 yards, and two extra points. So I walked away with 20 fantasy points from that young ho.
Yeah,
And so
a nice
I was
game winner too.
extremely happy. Oh my God, yeah, it worked out great. And because you expect 20 points from your quarterback, right? And so let's say you have a quarterback like Kyler Murray or even Jalen Hurts. Both of them got like less than 10 fantasy
Yeah,
points. This past weekend. So you don't really expect, you expect 20 from the quarterback, right? You expect maybe 10 from your kicker, right? I mean, you're happy with
yeah,
double digits, but this guy got me 20. So he outproduced, both those quarterbacks I just mentioned. So it worked out
right.
great.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
good
Um,
pickup,
any,
brother.
yeah. Any other waiver wire heroes you want to talk about real quick, or
No,
hop
that's
into the
it,
picks?
brother.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the picks. So we've got some quarterbacks identified, four of them here, and so why don't you start us off with let's see, the first one there that you have on the list. Let's see for
Yeah,
week
so
4.
you've been kind of ringing this guy's bell all year, but Justin Fields,
Yep.
he finally started getting things going. Had a solid game, 34 points. He's also 34% owned.
Uh
Sorry,
huh.
37 points this week.
Yeah.
312 yards passing, one touchdown, 55 yards rushing, and two touchdowns on the
Yep.
ground. So finally saw some Justin Fields that we've seen before in the past. Looking solid, man. I mean, he just keeps on getting a little bit better and a little bit better, and I think he's going to
Mm-hmm.
win that quarterback job. And it's kind of like what we've been
Yeah.
talking about as well with Russell Wilson coming back.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a nice backup option and let Justin Fields kind of do his thing.
Yeah, totally agree. We've been on him all year so far. I think we started mentioning him, I believe, week 2. But
Yeah,
yeah, totally agree. He looks the part. The only thing that concerns me is that the Steelers actually lost that game to the Colts. Which is a game they probably should have won. But it was his best fantasy output so far of the season. So I mean, he had been winning games weeks 1 and 2. Even pulled one off in week 3, but not exactly scoring a ton of fantasy points. It's being kind of a game manager. But I think he finally has a coach, in Tomlin that is going to develop him and work with him. And so I'm pretty sure that Tomlin likes him and that's his guy.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I,
I think
I,
so.
I like it. Okay. So yeah, we both agree on him. We got a 3-star rating on Justin Fields. Okay. All right. Let me get on to the next one. Let's see. It looks like you have 2 written down. So I'll go ahead and skip to Baker Mayfield. I had him written down as a 3-star guy, 66% owned. In week 4, he threw for 347 passing yards with 2 touchdowns and even ran in a touchdown. And so I looked at the stats for how fantasy scoring quarterback so far in the season, and he's number 4 overall. I think Lamar Jackson was number 1. It looked like Sam Darnold was number 2. I forget it was number 3, but he was 4. So pretty solid year
Yeah,
so far for
yeah. No, he's on a roll,
Baker.
man. He's
Mm-hmm.
on a roll. I think we'll expect to see this from him too. So I like that pick, man. That's good.
Yep.
You got 3 stars on him. I agree with
Yes,
that.
sir. Three stars. Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
he's somebody you can grab. If you got somebody even like Pat Mahomes. Let's say you've been rolling with Pat Mahomes. You drive, like, let's say you're a total idiot. And you drafted him in the 4th round. Thinking he was going to get you 40 points a game or something like that. Like he was
Yeah.
going to revert back to when he had Tyreek Hill. Obviously, that's not happening. And so, yeah, if I was a Pat Mahomes owner, I don't know if I would drop him 100%, but I would definitely pick up Baker and sit Pat on the bench for a while until
Yeah.
see what develops over there with Rice. Out
I
for I don't know
agree.
how long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So I talked about Baker. Let's get back up top to the one you brought to the table
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
Craig.
So I've got Andy Dalton on here. Got 3 stars on him.
Yep.
Man, I'm just liking what I'm seeing. He's 9% owned. He had 33 points the first week he took the field, 22 points this week. Threw for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns against Chicago, who's a tough defense,
Oh
So,
yeah.
um, I like him, man. I think he's got that offense moving, and he's got some weapons on it too. So,
Hmm.
I could see him continuing this production.
Yeah, I totally agree. He came, the Red Rifle just kind of hopped up off the bench and looks like a consummate professional out there. And it looks like that's his job to lose from here on out. I know he had a tough loss to the Bengals yesterday on Sunday,
Yeah, it
but
was a tough
but he
loss.
yeah, I mean,
Still,
he actually won a game, the one before that. Who did he beat, the Chargers or something like that? I forget.
yeah, I forget who that was, but
Hmm.
I mean, he looks good. He's out
Yep.
there moving that offense and moving the ball, something that Bryce Young couldn't do. So, until further notice, I think he's got a good shot.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, let me move on to the last quarterback I brought to the table today is Sam Darnold. Very similar to the Baker Mayfield situation, 55% owned. In week 4, he threw for 275 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. So extremely efficient so far on the season. He's a great fit over there in Minnesota, taking over for Kirk Cousins, and looks like they didn't miss a beat by going from Cousins over to Sam Darnold. So he's finally found a team to latch onto and to have a career with. I think looks great. He's number 2 QB on the season so far as fantasy points. So yeah.
Yeah, he's looking solid, man. It's surprising that he's only 55% owned. I mean, he's not a secret
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
No.
Like
Yeah.
he's doing well, and I think the Vikings are number 1 in the league scoring in the first quarter. So they're getting off
Yeah.
to a start, and they're continuing to pile it on. Their defense is playing good too. That's the only thing that kind of scares me about his fantasy production, but so far so good, man. He's been good.
Yep. Totally agree. He's got the Jets in London coming up. That's the one we were talking about Sunday morning, 8:30. But I'll definitely
Yep.
be waking up to cook a little breakfast and check it out.
Yep, you bet.
All right. And what's the last guy you brought, Craig?
Yeah, so last I brought is Joe Flacco. Like we saw what he did last year when he came on for the Browns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He kind of picked it up and ran with it. He looked great. We'll just kind of see. This is one I think I got 1 star on him. So
Right.
let's just kind of see what Richardson's status is. Because if he's gonna be healthy
Yeah.
and be able to go, Flacco's not worth picking up. I would not waste a waiver wire pick on him. I would wait
No.
till Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and if you're in desperate need, if you're in a pinch, if you're in a 2 quarterback league,
Yes.
I think he's a good play to roll out there. So
Yeah, totally agree. Super flex, 2 QB league. He's definitely a waiver wire leftover. Not somebody to burn a waiver priority on.
yeah, don't do that.
No, 0.2%, right? Or is it just 2?
It's
Okay.
0.2%.
Okay, so
Yeah.
0.2. Okay, so less than 1%. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right, let's shift on over to the running backs and tell me the first one you brought to the table, Craig.
Yeah. So I got Tyler Algier. I'm not sure how bad Bijan Robinson's hamstring is, but
Mm-hmm.
either way, with or without, he's 41% owned. This week he went 8 for 60 yards, got another 2 catches for 20 yards. I mean, he's
Mm-hmm.
efficient in that offense. He looks good running in there. I like the guy. He was
Yeah.
good last year. Solid running back. If Bijan spends any time on the sideline, man, it's I think Algier is gonna be a good waiver wire grab. I've got what do I have on him? 2 stars.
2
But
stars.
if you see some news tomorrow that
Mm-hmm.
Bijan's gonna miss some time, I'd probably bump that up to a 3-star.
Yeah, totally agree. It's definitely going to be his backfield. The Falcons definitely trust him, and
Yep.
he has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge in that system. He's also a good third down back. He can block. I think pass protect. He'll be good. I think he'll definitely get the job if Robinson is hurt. I didn't even know he was hurt, so thanks for telling me that. I
Yeah.
hadn't even heard that yet. Okay. All right, very good. So 2 stars on him, and then it was 3 stars on Sam Darnold. I think I forgot to cover that earlier, but yeah, 3-star guy. Okay, so let's move on to the first one I brought. Is Austin Eckler. He's actually 75% owned. I can't remember if our threshold was 70 or 75, and so if it is 70, excuse me for going over. But anyway, 25% of the leagues he's out there available. He was out with a concussion in week 4, but so far he's been serviceable. I mean, he got me. I've had him on 2 of my squads. Week 1, 12 points. Week 2, 12 points. Week 3, 16 points. So he's ascending, and he's a proven stud on a hot team. The
Yep.
Commanders are red hot right now, with the things that Jalen Daniels is doing. Oh my lord, he's taking the league by storm. He's all anybody's talking about right now. So to have a hot running back on a hot team, I think I could see some fireworks going on. And so I stuck him with 3 stars because I do think that Austin Eckler. Plus, he also has. Let's see. He also returns punts, and so if you're in one of those leagues that gives you the return yards, he's a cheat code there for you. So
get that little bonus. I like it, man. I agree with this. I mean, and I agree with your 3-star rating. Both him and Robertson catch the ball out of the backfield. They both do a great job of it. And they're both productive. I mean, this offense is moving. And it's really interesting to see how well they're doing.
Nobody expected this. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody expected this, but there's a lot of weapons in that offense.
Oh yeah,
that are fantasy worthy. I started Jaden Daniels over Burrow this week.
Yeah, smart move.
Him. Yeah, and
there you go.
Him. Just one of those things where the fantasy scoring points. Even though you may like Burrow a little bit better as a quarterback, but Jaden Daniels is rolling, and I think Austin Eckler goes right along with him. I like
I like that call too of playing Jaden Daniels over Burrow. I mean, it's a business decision. I mean, you're in the business of earning points for your fantasy teams. So yeah, it's about the bottom line.
That's right. That's right. Cool. Well, next one we've got on here, Chase Brown. You threw him on here, but I absolutely was going to throw him on there too. 2 stars on him. Depending on your running back situation. I mean, this easily could be a 3-star too. Right. Kind of the same situation. You still have Zach Moss running the ball pretty well. He's also a pass catcher, but Chase Brown seems to be adding some energy to that backfield and adding some energy to that whole Bengals offense, and so I think over time, they'll end up leaning towards him, and as the season goes along, I can see him really taking that backfield and taking 60-70% of the touches, and Zach Moss kind of just being the sub-end guy. So
true.
Yeah,
he could. He could steal that job. He's got burst.
Yeah, he does, man. He does. What did he find the end zone twice this last week? So, yeah, he's a solid one, man. He actually scored about 25 points on my bench this week.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't have him on any of my leagues. I do. I'm a Moss owner myself. I looked at that situation. I went with Moss just because of his experience and how great he was last season. In those spot starts that he got, he was great. So. But yeah, they're identical guys really as far as talent, and they're great.
Yep.
Okay, and then the last one I brought to the table was Kareem Hunt. I really wasn't going to bring him up this season, Craig, because I thought he was out of gas. What we saw in Cleveland last year, I wasn't impressed. I had written him off for dead, and so I wasn't going to bring him up. But he's only 36% owned. Last week, he had 14 carries for 69 yards, 2 grabs on 3 targets for 16, which isn't fantastic or anything. It's good. It's serviceable. But the thing about Hunt, is that he passed the eye test, and he is the bell cow. He's the number 1 running back in Kansas City right now. It looks like he's still got a few gallons of high octane fuel in that tank. I think he looked great. He really passed the eye test. I think he's going to be. I mean, people that were picking up that white guy steal, I think that they obviously don't really watch football. If you're going to pick up a fullback, that'd be like if Christian McCaffrey went down and you went and picked up useless check. Thinking he's going to be the guy. I mean, come on. Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, I think that's the guy. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I agree, man. You give him another week of practice.
2 stars.
I think a lot of that concept that Andy Reid brings to the table, Hunt knows. It's just kind of a plug him back in. Hey, remember this, remember that. And hey, we're doing this now. There's a shorter learning curve for him, I think. So, time to
Mm-hmm.
production, I think, is going to be a lot shorter for him. This week he'll probably take over that backfield, and he'll be the one guy that you see a lot. Because I agree. I mean, Steele had his chance. He's decent. He's
He
serviceable.
blew it. Fumbled twice. Yeah, he blew it.
That's a problem too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and who's the other guy? See, I don't even
P.
know
Ryan.
Yeah, P. Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked
P.
washed.
Ryan's serviceable, but he's just never been that guy.
Nah.
So
Yeah.
I think Hunt until Pacheco gets back is probably going to be the dude. I know CEH is coming back too, but
I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, he himself was never that great. So
Oh no. No.
I think P. Ryan's the one that kind of finds himself on the way out if once they all get back.
Agreed. All right. So for time management sake, let's move on to wide receivers. So there's a guy at the top, Craig, that both you and I agree on. I was about to bring him to the table too, but start us off with the Packer.
Yeah. Dontavian Wick. Almost I had to look at that name for about a second.
Yeah.
All those letters
right.
together form the name Dontavian. 9% owned. He went 5 for 78, 2 tutties. He had 13 targets, man, and
I know, right?
Yeah, like he was definitely getting looks. That game for Green Bay this weekend turned into an attempt to come back from being down pretty far. I think they were down like 28-3, so they were throwing the ball a lot, which was great.
Yeah,
Jordan Love on another squad, but yeah, I mean, with those targets, with Watson getting carted off, we'll see how long Watson's out, but maybe a couple games. Dontavian Wicks is a good one. I've got 2 stars on him. Very easily could be 3 stars.
Yeah, if he keeps it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two for now. Yeah, 2 for now.
Honestly, yeah, because Jalen Reed's looking solid there too.
Oh my God, yeah, he's the number one for sure. Reed is the one, and I think Wicks could be a close second because the other guy Dobbs, he just doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean?
I don't know if he's running the wrong routes. I don't know what's
stuck in mud. I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, got his shoelaces tied together. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he ain't the guy. So Wicks is the guy. It's Wicks and Reed.
Yep.
Okay, everybody owns Weed already, so go get Wicks. 2 stars.
Yep. 2 stars.
All right, let me move. Okay, then I'm going to jump down to Jordan Addison. Another one, also 75% owned. So my bad if this is over our threshold. But 25% of the leagues he's out there. He's been hurt for a while, and that's probably why he's available on the waiver wire. I think some people ran out of patience with him. But what a comeback, man! I think it might have been, what is that, his first game of the season? I'm not sure, but week 4 he caught only 3 grabs on 4 targets, but he sure did some good stuff with them. Went for 72 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 7 yards for another touchdown. So he's scoring touchdowns right there. Looking good.
Yeah, I like it, brother. I like it. I was checking on something else.
3 stars. 3 stars on Addison.
3 stars on him. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've got 1 star on Josh Downs.
Okay.
I was high on him last year.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of potential in this league. He was out the first 2 games, kind of had that kind of come back and feel things out game in week 3.
Yeah.
This week, honestly, he wasn't off to a great start with Richardson until Flacco came in.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
And then Flacco's like, well, here's my guy. This dude's open. Let me throw it to him.
Exactly.
8.8% owned. He went 8 for 82 yards and 1 tutty on 9 targets. So, again, if Richardson's out, Flacco's in, I'd bump Josh Downs up, a star or 2 also on that because, I think he's going to get the looks. Richardson seems locked into some of the guys that he just, likes to throw the ball.
Right.
Or if those 2 aren't open, he's just going to run it, So, I think he's worth a look. It also might be interesting too with, I think one we missed on the running back side, JT's hurt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, JT's hurt, so it'd be Trey Sermon would be the guy.
Yeah, and I like him.
Yeah. He did. He never worked out in San Francisco. I think he pissed off some coaches and ran out of town. But Yeah, we've seen him flash. I remember a game or two last season where
Yep.
where he was like, "Wait, who's this guy?" Yeah, he looked
Yeah.
good. Maybe that was in the playoffs. I forget, but yeah, he looked good.
Right.
Okay,
Cool.
all right. Well, very
Lightning
good.
round.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, lightning round. Yeah, we're getting short on time, so no, I totally agree. Josh Downs, I like that. Pittman actually came alive. I think he scored like 19 fantasy points sitting on my
Yeah.
bench. So yeah, I think it's the Joe Falco. I think that they need to take a page from the Panthers and just roll with Falco, kind of like they're rolling with Red Rifle. I
Yep.
mean, Anthony Richards, he's not the answer. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's
Not
just
yet.
same thing as the other guy in Panthers.
Yeah,
Just
throw the
like
ball too. Yeah.
Caleb Williams ain't the answer either. I mean, you can toy around with these rookie wide quarterbacks, but you're not going to win fantasy. You're not going to win football games with them. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to. I'll just do these two real quick. Khalil Shakir, 73% owned. He's no secret. He's Allen's number one read. He got me 13, 10, 19, and 11 fantasy points so far. So, he's getting you double digit, not quite
Yep.
breaking that 20, not quite giving us that ceiling, but he's giving us a floor. He's due for a breakout game. All right. So let's see. In the interest of time, let's bump on over to tight ends. Who's your first tight end, Craig?
Yeah, so I got Tucker Kraft on Green Bay. So he's 4% owned. He went 6 for 53, 1 touchdown on 9 targets. He's outpaced Musgrave significantly over the last few games in targets. So
He's the Packer,
definitely the
right?
number one. What's that?
He's a Packer, right?
Yeah,
That's who he
Packer.
plays for.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. He caught
Take
my
some stars
attention
on
too.
him. If you're
Uh
desperate,
huh.
go use a waiver wire on him if you're desperate.
Yep, very good. Yeah, I mean, tight end is just super thin right now. And I already talked about Fryermuth earlier, and so I don't need to talk about him again. But I got 3 stars on Pat Fryermuth. If he's out there, 73% owned, so just a little under the 75% threshold. So he's out there in 27% of leagues on the Yahoo side. And then I'll move on down to Taysom Hill. I know that you would never ever pick him up, Craig. Or yeah, I know you hate Taysom Hill. You're in the city though right now, so you may see him down on Bourbon Street tonight. If you do, take a shot with him, and
Yep.
tell him your brother just talked about him on Trust Me, bro. But
I'll just leave it at
39.
that.
Yep, exactly. 39%
Okay.
owned. Yeah, exactly. 61% availability. 1 star, just one. One
Yeah.
one for Taysom.
Yeah.
He did have 6 carries for 24 yards and 2 touchdowns. And so, in Q1 of that game, I was like, man, wow, look at this. Because he plays Atlanta well. I was reading somewhere earlier that like he owns the Falcons. And all those blow up games have been against them. And I was like, okay, I got my guy, McBride out, so maybe I'll see a Taysom Hill game. But yeah, he got hurt and was out. So
Yeah.
one star on him. So I
I
don't even know
like
if he's
that,
going to
man.
come
We
back.
set the clue. Like my problem with
Mhm.
Taysom Hill is you think he's going to go off. It seems to set up well, and he just sucks. He gets
Yeah,
1 point,
right.
and then the next week he gets 35 points, and he's on your bench or
Yeah,
back on the waiver wire. Like it's
yep, I
you
know,
never
right?
predicted. So at least there's a clue. I like it.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go. All right, so let's move on to some streaming defenses.
Yep.
Yeah, you do the first one, and I'll do the next one.
Yeah, man. I'm streaming the Broncos this week. They got the
Yeah, they look
Raiders.
solid.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
look
they look good
solid.
against the Jets. They beat the Jets, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
defense
look
has
good.
to be good, man, because that offense is
Hmm.
garbage.
Oh yeah.
Take the under, and then they got the Chargers
Yep.
the next week too. So a couple
Yeah.
solid, solid couple games for the Broncos.
Yep, very good. I totally agree. I like the Seahawks. I think you and I both identified them because they're going up against the Giants. The Giants, they actually looked decent their last game, but I don't know if that star wide receiver that their great rookie Neighbors is going to play or not. He looked kind of banged up at the end of that game. So if with no Neighbors and Danny Dimes, throwing interceptions all night, I think the Seahawks might be able to take it to them.
Yeah,
and then the only other one that caught my attention was the Dolphins. They didn't look very good tonight, but they're playing the Patriots next, and the Patriots, man, they're struggling. I think they got their butts beat all season so far. So.
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
Couple streaming kickers. I like Eddie Pinero this week. He's playing the Bears. Bears have a solid defense, especially in the red zone. Also like Joshua Carty. I've been watching him
Cardi.
for the last
Okay.
couple of weeks, man, and he's hitting his field goals. He's on the money, and he's playing the Packers, who also have a very solid, red zone defense. So
Yep.
go grab him, man. Good luck out there in the waiver wire.
All right, brother. Good picks. All right. Well, we're all up against the 30-minute time limit, so everybody enjoy the games Thursday night in London on Sunday morning, all day Sunday, and then we'll be back at you after Monday Night Football next week.
Yep. Follow us on YouTube.
All right. Peace, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Peace.